to the July already, July Town Hall here at Heartbeat. Welcome to the folks, all 17 who were like waiting in line, sleeping on the sidewalk outside of this session. I appreciate you guys for pouring in right here at the beginning. And welcome to everybody out there on LinkedIn and on YouTube who are tuning in via the live stream. Let us know in the chat, guys. All the chat, the comment underneath this, doesn't matter if you're on YouTube, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're in the studio audience, all your chats come together to us here. Would love to see where everybody's tuning in from. So drop your city or your nation or wherever you're from. We usually have folks coming in from all over the place. All right, we've got London in the house. Patrick, good to see you. Nicole from California. Claire from Worthington, UK. We got Marilyn, Rin, good to see you there. South Central Indiana from Ruth. Anita's in Australia. Eric, OKC. I got Julia in Texas. Sandra in Ontario, Canada. David in San Jose, California. We've got, I think, at least 8 time zones represented so far from what I've seen. Atlanta, Georgia. Good to see everyone here. Awesome, awesome. So welcome to this July Town Hall for Heartbeat. We really like doing these. These are our monthly way to connect with you all, with the community of people building communities on Heartbeat, thinking about building communities on Heartbeat. And this is a chance for us to kind of practice transparency into things that we've been doing, the things that we will be building. And we're really excited to go through what we've created in the last month and what we have coming on down the road for you. Now, if you haven't been here before, as a reminder, this is meant to be a chance for us to all connect, for us to just do a vibe check, to get connected to one another. In the chat, please always share. If you have questions, we can log them. I can actually pull the graphic up on the screen. So if we have questions, we can answer them together. And of course, if this is your first time and you're not sure the vibe, this is a safe place to ask questions. Be respectful, because everything people ask questions about, it might seem obvious to one person, but it wasn't obvious to somebody else at one point. Everybody's learning at different stages all at the same time. So really excited to have everybody here. For the run of show today, you got the 3 of us. We've got Mayhol, the CTO. We've got Nick, head of product, and we got myself, head of growth and marketing here at Heartbeat. And we're going to be going through things that we worked on last month, giving you a quick update from the different teams here at Heartbeat. We're going to be going over what's coming up next month. And then we want to open the floor up to you guys. So a lot of this is about you co-creating the future of Heartbeat. So we have literally taken the feedback from people who have come and stumped and rallied for their causes and the things that they needed, taken that feedback to heart, and work that into our product roadmap, sometimes just honestly changing the order of the things that we're creating so that we can make the things that are most impactful to you. So bring that passion, bring the things that you guys care about. I'm going to be emceeing the comments as best as I can. As you noticed, Mortisa's not here today. He's flying back from visiting with family, but holding it down the fort. We've got this covered for all of you guys. Great to see everyone here. Tony, great to see you there. What's up? Good to have you there. And Ruth, great question. What is CTO? Mayhol, just say hi and tell everybody what CTO is.
Hey guys, I'm the Chief Technical Officer. And so all of the product and engineering work done at Heartbeat is under my oversight, and we have a lot of exciting updates to share.
Awesome. All right, here we go. So we are here, guys. We are live, and we are doing the thing. Let's kick it off, guys. Let's do, let's go on down the road. We got welcome, introductions. Nick, you haven't given your introduction yet. Everybody knows me. I do all the tutorials. Hey, I'm Mike. I do marketing. Nick, give yourself a quick hello and a little intro.
Yeah, hey everybody. I'm Nick. I'm our product manager and chief of staff here at Heartbeat. So all the fun little features that we'll be talking about today, me and Mayhol have been working really closely together on getting out to you. We've probably spoken before if you're already a customer there. I've seen a lot of your faces already. But yeah, I'd love to take it away with what product did last month, if that's all right.
I think that's good. And as a reminder to everybody, these sessions are recorded. Like I said, we live stream out to YouTube and LinkedIn. And so the embeds will be there on the YouTube channel, and we'll post them in the Hearth if you guys are in the Hearth community. And if you're not, you should be, because it's awesome. Be there. All right, Nick, kick it off.
All right, Al. So you see my screen? We're on our trusty Notion page. And there are 2 major things I want to talk about with what product did last month. The first being we can now support taxes on one-time transactions. So if you're collecting taxes on your payments through Heartbeat Payments within your community, before this past month, you were only able to collect taxes on subscription payments. So any one-time payments or installment, they were not collecting taxes on. Very excited to announce that now we support that. So any one-time course payments or other one-time payments that you host in your community, if you already have Stripe tax enabled, we'll be able to collect tax on that as well. Just as like a heads up, taxes is not really necessary for every business to collect when you're an online business. So don't feel that pang of stress, like, am I doing anything wrong if I don't have that toggled on? Chances are you're all right, and consult your accountant if you are unsure. But yeah, very excited to support that. But without further ado, I'd like to move on to like the main event of what we really worked and synced most of our time into last month, which is the event ticketing update. There's a huge improvement coming to events this next couple weeks. And we demoed a little bit of it last month during the town hall. But in those demos, they were all just mock-ups made by yours truly. But since then, we have internal testing ready, and we're almost ready to send it out to some beta testers to actually start using the update. So before I start going showing and telling, I want to describe a little bit more about like why we did this update. So as you probably know, for many of your own communities, events are a really strong way to generate leads for your community and get people from into the top of the funnel and eventually convert into members. They're also a great way for your existing members to engage with them and make an online community feel more like a human to human connection. Because the one moment that you get people live on a call together and see that there's a person behind the screen, you're multiplying your engagement rates in your community. So between lead gen and increasing engagement, we wanted to give you more power over the events that you host in your community, and one of those things being an event ticketing feature. So what is it, you might be asking? Right now, in the current state of events, we support you being able to create an event and invite people in your community and maybe even make it a public event where you can set a single price for that event to be paid. But the way it's currently structured is you're either RSVP'd to go or you're not. And there's no additional toggles and configurations and customization that you can do in terms of how somebody joins, what level somebody's joining the event at, or even like capacity limits or RSVP deadlines. And I'm very excited to announce all of that is coming, along with a few other really nifty quality of life improvements to your admin side of the events feature. So I feel like I've talked it up enough. Let's jump over into what your events could look like soon. So I'm in my test community here called the Drummer's Den. But the Drummer's Den is home to a lot of different events today. We are a chef community today. We're an AI startup community today, and we're also a yoga community, just because I want to show you all the different types of events that you can possibly build here. And I'm going to actually pull up the admin side. Oops, Inception. The admin side of this to show you the new creation flow for events. When I go ahead and click event, create event here, you'll notice it's no longer that tiny little modal, and we've made increased the real estate for which you can create and edit your new events. And you'll notice a lot of the same things that you know and love today. So that's you're on the left side, you have your image, your title, your description, your date and time, your location. But at the bottom here, this is brand new. Typically with events, we would just make whoever the creator is the host, and you can't change that. You could only have one host. So it was a little bit limiting when you're not necessarily one hosting, but you have to create the event. Now you'll be able to select any member within your community to be the host. You could even remove yourself as the host. And if your host is not actually a member of your community, you can just paste in their email, give them a name, add their image, and have them host it instead. So that is one quality of life thing that I think many of you will be happy to see. But to the main event, on the top right side, visibility and discovery. This is what many of you know today as like a public event toggle, if you want to keep your event for closed within your community or open it up to the public. So that same option is available here, but with a little extra power. So if I wanted to make my event public, I just click the drop down here and select public, and you will be able to invite external guests to this event with a shareable link. And we have these additional advanced public event settings. So the event organizer bio you already know of, that's already there. And the recommend other events is already there. another great way to get people down into your funnel, deeper into your funnel that are joining a public event. But now we have an option to add a community sign up button to your public event page, right? So it seems simple, but it's a way for people to join your community from your public event page without having to put them through a series of email follow-up campaigns or having to send them a separate link, all from your event page on the public's facing side. They'll be able to just click a join button and join your community. And you'll be able to select which sign up link they use to join your community as well. So that's one thing that's new. The other thing that's new is the event ticketing piece of things. Okay, so I want to run through a scenario with y'all. We want to run a public event. And this public event has a public ticket, and it also has a in-community ticket. So basically my community members have their own ticket for the event, and the general public can join from another ticket for the event. Maybe they're paying and my community members are joining for free. So what you can do here, plain and simple, is say the general public has to pay. I set the fee, they have to pay $5 to come. And then I add my users here and say they can come for free. It's included. It's that simple, right? But let's say I want to get more complicated with it, because this is possible the way we have the current event set up today. With this update, you'll be able to click Advanced Ticket Settings and start creating separate tickets for each of the stakeholders that I want to invite to this event. So let's say for the general public, I want them to pay $5. Maybe I also want them to name their price. And I only want to allow 10 people from the general public to come to this event because I want a majority of the people to be my members. I'll also set an RSVP deadline of, let's say, shortly before the event starts. So let's say the day before. Now let's also say I want to create some additional ticket options for my general users. I want to maybe have just like a standard ticket option where I'll add my users. And then I will have a VIP ticket option for my users. And now when they're signing up, they'll have the option to either join from the standard ticket or join from the VIP ticket. And whatever that means for you and your event, you'll be able to know what members chose what ticket. So I want to show you some concrete examples because I know that this can get a little convoluted with the amount of possibilities you have. So let's jump over to some test events that I've created for y'all. In this test event, it's called Breathe and Bloom. It's a prenatal yoga session for mothers-to-be. It's an in-person event, and I'm hosting this for both my community members and the general public. What I'm looking at right now is the general public's view of the event. You'll notice that I only have one option to join this event because I'm not a member. So if the general public, there's 9 spots left. I have to pay $5. If I didn't want to RSVP right now and instead I want to join the event, I can click that. Join the community, sorry. I can click that here. You can see the hosts. And let's say I do want to RSVP and put my name and my email, and I'm asked to pay. This is a name your price event, so maybe I'm feeling generous and I want to double the price that is recommended. And then actually I have a free coupon, so psych, I'm not actually going to pay anything. And then I input my payment data, confirm, and I'm sent the email confirmation. This is just one example. On the member side, oops, you see something like this. So it's the same event, right? And I can RSVP, and as a member, I'm RSVPing for free because this is free for my members and paid for the public. Here's another example for you. An everyday AI workflows to supercharge your startup. So now I'm a startup community hosting an AI flow webinar. And in this webinar, I have an early bird ticket and a standard ticket. The early bird ticket is limited spots and limited time, but it's cheaper. So if you get in early and sign up now, you can only spend $10 for a ticket. But once these 5 days and 22 hours and 42 minutes and 58 seconds passes, this ticket will no longer be available and I'll have to get a standard ticket at the full price. Here's another example for you of how you could use event ticketing for your communities and webinars. And again, I could make these tickets available to my community members or the public or both. And then I'll give you one more example, y'all. let's say you're running a community that is a paid membership where you have free members and paid members within the community, right? So it's kind of like a freemium subscription model. And let's say you're running events for your paid members, but you want to give your free members an option to join. And that option to join could be either upgrading to the paid tier or just paying a one-time ticket price for that specific event. This is really common for a lot of you folks that are hosting like these reoccurring value-driven events. And you want people to upsell into your membership, but you also want to give them an option to just purchase one event at a time if that's what they prefer. So we have a Master Shrimp Fried Rice Like a Chef course. Event in this community. And if I click into this, you're telling me to shrimp fried this rice? Yes, I am. And if I'm looking at the admin side, I can see that I have two ticket options. One is if you're a free member, who are all my users, you'll have to pay $10 to come to this event. But if you're a paid member on my paid tier, it's free. And what that looks like on the member side is since I have paid tier in community upsells turned on, if I go take a look as an ordinary member, I see two options for this event. I could either join for free and pay $10. I could either join as a free member and pay $10, or I see that I can access this paid member ticket, upgrade, then $0. If I click that, I'm taken to the in-community upsell where I can join the membership and then RSVP to this event for free. But instead, if I'm like, I just want to learn how to make shrimp fried rice, I'm not really interested in the general membership, then I could just pay for this $10 ticket and attend only this one event. Okay, I've talked your ear off. Mike, are we getting crickets or do we have questions? Oops. Oh, I think you're muted, Mike.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for that. So no, we have lots of love coming in. I know you couldn't see them when we were up on screen, but we basically have lots of love for the updates. And I do have a couple questions. We also have folks who are kind of tuning in from like YouTube recommended and like other channels. So we actually have a couple of new folks in the audience, which is really great. So welcome to the party. Compliments to your glasses, by the way. I'll shout that out. People think you have like wicked awesome glasses. So there you go.
Thank you. They're new.
All right.
Appreciate it.
So Patrick's in love with everything here, and I got about 4 questions I want to run through here real quick. So Leah had asked a question, if we can limit the number of people external to the community who can join, but you covered that shortly thereafter. So yep. Awesome there. There's a question from username UN. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it right. Is it possible when an event is public for people to see it, even if I don't want them to become a member? Can you not do the sign up button that you showed us? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you can turn that off. So I think that was on for one of these guys here. So if I'm just editing this event, if I go to the advanced settings here, I could just turn off this sign up option. So now it's just for the event they can sign up and they won't be able to sign up to the community.
Awesome. Okay. And he did have an add-on, had an add-on question asking, is there a way to allow members to create an event without being able to edit the admin's events? Because some of the roles are full access. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I see the question. So that level of granular permissioning we don't have yet, and it won't be scoped into this update, but we have had other requests of that, so we're aware of it. It's not necessarily slated on our near-term roadmap, but we are aware of that demand growing.
Yes. And that's the thing, like we hear this, guys, like when you ask us questions here, this is where we put things into the roadmap and then we start weighting things around. And it's not just a popularity contest, it's popularity versus speed and how fast we can do things with the resources that we've got currently. Patrick asked a question here. I'll throw this up on screen. Can we see conversion metrics for free members who convert to upgraded? I'm not sure if that's just through events or in general. Nick, any thoughts you want to share on the metrics and visibilities?
Yes, so we will, it won't be scoped in the first iteration of this, but we do have plans to give you information on like the analytics of the sources of where people are coming from. So as an example, like shortly after we push this, we would really like to have a Discover page on the Heartbeat landing page where we're sharing any public events from all communities across the platform to give you more visibility to your events in your community and just give you another channel to get people in the door. So between that and upsells, and then your own direct efforts to market your event, we want you to know where those people are coming in from, so you know where to continue investing your time and money. So that is coming. It's just not on the first iteration of this launch.
Awesome. Just want to catch up through a couple other questions here. Rick had asked earlier, and Rick, I'm sorry, I would put your question up on screen, but it was up in the chat, so I can't quite grab it yet. Does Heartbeat integrate with Zoom webinars as well as Zoom meetings? Or does that not?
So
how does that jive on your?
we don't have a
the
direct
platform?
integration with the webinars piece. We auto create Zoom meeting links when you are creating an event using the Zoom integration. But what you could do is paste in the webinar, like create the webinar event in your Zoom and then paste it in as a custom link here. And you can do that workaround.
Right. Literally anything you want to send them to, you can use for the custom event. Like even if you have an IRL meetup, addresses go there, like Google Pins, right, on the map can go there. So super flexible on that front. Great question. Great question, Rick. Let's see. Patrick did clarify. He was thinking about, is there any metrics on advanced ticketing?
On advanced ticketing, so like it's basically seeing what tickets people purchased. Is that the question?
I believe so, yeah, because Patrick was asking regarding what he was asking it during the demo of the advanced ticket feature. So I guess it was like, let's say you were showing like quantity limits for all the different options. Like, is there a log of like 8 of 12 sort of a thing?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
so you'll see that so one also new thing that I kind of overshadowed a little bit is the fact that we're gonna have 2 tabs for you as an admin on every single event. So you'll have the preview page, which is the page that you typically see today, but you also have an event details page where you can monitor the amount of RSVPs you have, the amount of people you invited. If you have a capacity limit, that will be shown here as well. And if you have capacity limits on each of your tickets, they will be displayed on each of the tickets as well. And then if you scroll down, you could also see who's declined to your event, who's confirmed, who's invited. If you have anybody that's confirmed or declined, you can move them as an admin between the 2 spaces. Soon you'll be able to export this list as well. And then last thing I'll note there as well is something that's largely requested, sending email blasts to your event attendees. So you'll be able to click send blast and select whether you want to send an email blast to those that are invited, declined, confirmed, or all of the above. And you can send emails straight from your event page.
Awesome. We have a noise spelled phonetically noise from Eric. Appreciate that. Patrick also appreciates the answer. It looks really good.
Awesome.
I do see we do have a couple questions in here, not directly on this topic. I'm grouping them. I'm logging them, guys, so we can put them into the end. The other one related to events was from Claire. If I want to hold a webinar where people don't see other attendees, will I still have to sign up to a Zoom webinar product versus a meeting product?
I see. Yes, I believe that's a webinar only feature on Zoom.
Okay. So that's the answer for you there. But again, you can use that custom link area that Nick just showcased earlier. Super excited, to see that you're thinking things are great. I did have actually a question from you in here on the events. When an admin duplicates an event, the workflow that like RSV communications doesn't necessarily duplicate. Is that we're going to work with this update?
So yeah, that's actually in our quality of life improvements roadmap. I've included that request. I might know who asked that question because I remember working on that support ticket. But
Wonderful.
yes, that's included in our quality of life improvements.
Awesome. And then the last one is, can you just give us a quick view at what the public event page looks like for non-members?
Yes, so this is an example of a public event page for non-members. In this public event, I have 2 tickets that are available for the general public. One of them is an early bird ticket with a time expiration for RSVP and limited spots, and the other one is just a standard ticket at full price. So once these expire, either through spots, sold out or through expiration, only this ticket will be available. On this same event, I also have an option to join the community. It will list out all the hosts, and I'll be able to see the location of the event after RSVP. So if I go ahead and select this ticket, click RSVP, I enter my information, and I'm taken to a checkout page. And then after I check out, I will see the event location and be sent the event confirmation along with a calendar invite.
Awesome.
And then something I'll also call out on workflows that, like you mentioned earlier, is that one additional feature we're going to have with this update is the ability to have different workflows for different ticket types. And so if you maybe have like a more premium level ticket that includes access, aspects of the event that others don't have, you can set up emails like will get sent only to those members instead of everyone that participates in the event. And so you can segment your messaging that way.
Wonderful. And there's just props from Eric here. I can't imagine how difficult it is to keep track of all the fields, objects, relationships, etc. Nicely done, gents. Appreciate the compliment, Eric. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And Patrick wants to know if maybe we could consider adding the year to the dates on the external pages.
Yeah,
so I guess if you're
fair.
booking out in advance, yeah, I could see the use case for that.
Yeah, it'll definitely include it in any calendar invites that we send. But yeah, we could also look into adding it here.
Awesome.
I think we also have some additional checks where it's like if it's in a different year than the current year, then we do show the year. Otherwise, we hide it. And so that way, if there's any ambiguity, we try and make it clear.
Awesome. I am logging some questions here. We got some great questions related to some other topics that we're actually going to be touching on in this call. But basically, everyone, we have different workflows are awesome. People are happy and grateful for the answers. And we've got some of our folks who kind of serendipitously joined us. Aviation, I see you there. Mayhill's mic came on suddenly, gave him a jump scare. Sorry about the jump scare. We keep it. We try to keep the heart in the chest as best we can during these live streams here. Appreciate all that. All right, Nick, what else you got on the queue? I've got other questions logged up for later.
That's all I have right now for the product side of things. So yeah, if we're good to move on to the next thing we worked on last month.
Cool. That would be me. That would be my section, I believe, right? All right, guys. So little window into how we're growing Heartbeat. Wanted to give you guys visibility just into some things that we've worked on and some milestones that we've hit. So super cool stats. I should put a trademark after this because this is like my trademarked super cool stats section. We have over 7,000 communities built on Heartbeat now. So super exciting milestone. Props to all of you guys for all of the building that you're doing. Amazing work. Just the amount of work it takes to build a community. And I built a community before I joined the team here. So I know what it takes to build a community. And then in my head, I'm multiplying that out 7,000 times. Incredible amounts of work of what you guys are all doing. Really appreciate you doing that. Props to you all. Also, shouting out some folks who have got some serious traction. If you tuned in last month, you saw we had just shy of 25 communities that had made over 100K. Now we got 28. And I said there was a few people right below that cutoff that were chasing that. So super excited that you guys are here. So, and hitting that milestone. So congrats on the folks in the six-figure club. Lastly, community revenue. This is money admins are making through their community businesses is closing in on $1 million a month. I looked at this accidentally. I put up the wrong filter in a report that I was running. And I'm like, oh, $1 million, because I wanted to see how much we made in total. And in total, we're crossed well over like 12, almost 12.5 million, I think, total from the entirety of the company existing. But we're pacing now at $1 million a month going into your guys' pockets. So congrats to you all on the marketing that you're doing, on the impactful spaces that you're building and bringing people together. So really amazing job. Really happy and proud of all of you. One thing I will say here, so what we are doing, because we're seeing this great traction, is we're doing a lot of different initiatives. And over the past month, if you guys don't know, we have a preferred partner program. So Leah, I saw your question about who do we want to recommend as far as people who work with, right? If you guys want to check out, I did put the link in the chat. It's heartbeat.chat/partners. If you go to that page, it's navigable right in our menu. These are agencies who have registered with Heartbeat. They've gone through a little bit of a process to be listed there, and they provide a variety of different services. It's either community migration from other platforms, setting things up initially, courses design, marketing support, podcast and content creation. There's a variety of different providers there. There's also a link to apply to become one. We review them quarterly. So if you did want to think about becoming one, you can read a little bit of information. You can apply, and then we'll get you some basic information, see if that suits what you want to do. And you could become a preferred partner You'll start out as a registered agency, and then you could grow into becoming a preferred partner eventually. So that's a great resource if you guys want to grab some support from professionals that you could hire to help you. Outside of that, you guys know that I send out weekly newsletters. And if you don't, definitely ask to be opted into the newsletter. We send this out every week, usually on Wednesdays. 99 out of 100 days, Wednesdays, it's Wednesdays. Occasionally it's a Thursday, depending on the update. But I've been leaning in on the video concept. So if you guys notice, originally it was like a quick 3-minute, here's the thing we delivered last week. But now it's really getting deeper in like helping you guys understand and reacquaint yourself with the different features that are in Heartbeat. Advice that I can offer as a marketing person who also is a community admin growing my community, and how that marries together so you can use the platform to grow with marketing knowledge. And we do have a lot of content publishing out to YouTube and LinkedIn. And on LinkedIn, we have a dedicated LinkedIn newsletter that actually has completely unique content from the email newsletter that we send out. So if you do spend time on that platform, I recommend that you subscribe to the Heartbeat page and then the newsletter that goes along with it. Or follow us on and subscribe on YouTube, because we do put a lot of really helpful, useful content out there. If you miss tutorials, they're there. Sometimes we'll snip out the most actionable piece and make a short or even just a shorter standard long form video. And the newsletter on LinkedIn, we do feature communities. So we feature success stories of people doing really, really great things. So really excited to have all of that there. This is the sort of content marketing motions that we've been doing over the last month. Now I'm going to go look at the chat and see how far behind I am. Nick, why don't you grab it from here and talk about support?
Sure. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so stepping in for Siobhan this month, I am talking about what we did in support over the last month. So one is we've made 37 updates to the Help Center. So that includes both new and updated help guides and recipes in the Help Center. If you haven't checked that out in a while, go to help.heartbeat.chat, check it out. There's a category called the recipes there. And it is exactly what you might think a recipe is. We take the ingredients that Heartbeat gives you, and we build a beautiful cake or workflow for you in your community. And it's really helpful guides on like using all of the features that Heartbeat has to offer to build in best practices into your community at various stages of growth. So one of those recipes includes like engagement-based badges. I think another one might include how to like unlock certain content based on engagement in the community. There's some about events in there, speaking of the events update. So take a look. There's tons of video content in our Help Center, and wherever you find something's missing, let us know. If there's a recipe that you think is missing, reach out to support and we'll get it up as soon as possible. We are also, over the past month, have been meeting with new admins more and more for quick get unstuck calls. Over the past few months, we've been focusing a lot on lowering the learning curve of Heartbeat. And to do that, the best way to do it is to just talk to y'all and learn where you're getting stuck and what your priorities are for launching. And we want to make sure that we're providing you with the proper resources in a timely way at every step of that journey. So these quick get unstuck calls are helpful for you because they help you keep moving toward launch, but it also helps us a lot in improving the asynchronous ways that we support you during your first few weeks on Heartbeat and as you're looking to launch. So we're really looking to lean into that more over the upcoming month as well. And then last, we provided instructions for migrating to the new custom domain setup. So if you don't know about this, last month we talked a bit about 502 issues that were happening for some EU-based members of communities accessing your community on the custom domain. What resulted was we worked a lot with our partner that we integrate with for our custom domain setups, and they provided with our collaboration, we are providing new instructions for your custom domain setups. So if you have it set up today, it's fine. Nothing is broken. Everything works. But there are new instructions that will help mitigate any potential issues with load times and 502 errors for your EU-based members. And you could find those instructions by going to your settings and then custom domain settings. They will be at the top. I will just flag, please, please, please do this during the off hours of your community. DNS record changes can take I'd say up to 20 minutes max to fully propagate. And that means sometimes your community may not be accessible for about 15 to 20 minutes when you're making those changes. So wait until the wee hours of the night. Do it when you know that nobody's really checking out the community, and it won't matter if it takes a little longer than usual. We've seen a lot that take below 5 minutes, but we just want to play it safe and make sure that you're not doing it during peak hours of your community. Cool. Anything to add there, Mehul?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Back to you, Mike, for community updates.
Sounds good. All right. So over the last 30 days or so, we have had some excellent events in the Hearth. So guys, if you are not actively in the Hearth, worth checking it out, or at very least having invites and notifications turned on for it, even if you don't feel like visiting every single day, because we had amazing events. We had Fix Your Marketing Plan, the Who Before the How with Jeremy Howe. Jeremy is one of our preferred partners. The Way How is his agency surrounding marketing and helping businesses cross the gaps from where they are to where they want to go. Usually businesses in transition are the ones that do well here. And he taught us a whole lot about heart-centric marketing, about how to lead from using empathy as your competitive advantage to be able to lead. Really impactful. One of the most popular content pieces we had out on the YouTube channel in the history of our YouTube channel so far. So if you haven't watched that one, definitely go check it out. We also have a replay for how to use merch to boost membership retention and revenue. Mars Marcello joined us for this one from Certified Crucial. That was an exceptional session on different use cases for merch, the pros and cons of different qualities and expenses, swag style versus limited runs, really cool strategies in there, new ideas to think about if you guys want to look at that one. It's over on the YouTube channel as well. And of course, just yesterday, we had your winning membership blueprint from structure to sold out with Lisa Princik. Excellent session, covered all the fundamentals of how to go from the community-based model of building that out to actually moving towards and through selling that offer. So fundamentals covered at a really strong level. They're definitely worth checking out the replay already on the YouTube channel. And as a reminder, we do have interest groups in the Hearth. So even if you're a member of the Hearth, if you haven't signed up for the marketing interest group, the courses interest group, or the automations interest group, they each have their own set of meetings. Once you join those interest groups, you then see those meetings and can attend those meetings in the calendar. So if you're interested in marketing, Drew Donaldson is our facilitator there. He is an expert in marketing. They have meetings every Friday. Join the group. Check out the meetings when you can. Patrick, who I believe is in the chat right now. Patrick, good to have you here. You facilitate our courses interest group every other Tuesday. Pedagogy, implementing courses in Heartbeat, best practices, all covered. And then Misty Dorman, which you guys will see in the Hearth. She's also co-host with me on the live streams for the tutorials, does the automations group. She's an expert in all of the native automations in Heartbeat and the super ultra custom ones you can build out there in the external world with Zapier, Make, Pabbly, those sorts of platforms. So if you're not, be there. Check them out. Super worth doing. All right, let's look into the future. Let's do the future, guys. All right, that was the past. The past is behind us. It's time for the future.
Yeah, so for those of you that are new, the second piece of this is what are we going to be working on in the next month? And on the product side, we have a lot of quality of life fixes that are upcoming. Like we said a few months back, we ran a product market fit survey that taught us a lot about some of the fixes that we can make that would go a long way, and that would take like a little bit of effort on our end. So we'll be focusing on more of those this month. We've been implementing a bunch of them throughout the past couple months, and the events update honestly covers a ton of them as well, but more to come over the next month. And then the second thing coming is more email outreach tools for events, waitlists, and abandoned users. So I already demoed for you today the email outreach tool for events, where you could email blast anybody that's been invited, RSVP yes or declined for your event. After an event ends, you'll also have an option to send an email blast to those that attended the event, saying thanks for coming. And that same thing is coming for your wait lists. For anybody on a wait list for your community, you'll be able to send an email blast to them, updating them on your launch schedule. And then for abandoned users, and just as a reminder, what abandoned users are in Heartbeat is anybody who enters their email on any of your sign-up pages, but doesn't go to the next step. Maybe they don't go to checkout and pay. And if it's a free community, that means they just don't go through onboarding after they've entered their email. At that point, they are an abandoned user, and you can run things like abandoned cart flows. we're sending them an email campaign trying to re-engage them. So that is already possible using workflows. If you haven't tried that already, check it out. Go to your settings, workflows, and then create a new workflow. There's actually a template for that already built out for you. But we're also going to be supporting really soon doing bulk emails in batches to anybody in your abandoned users tab on your members table. So you'll be able to select specific folks or all of the folks on that table and just send one mass email if you'd like. Cool. Mike, any questions for that?
We have love on that. Excited for more email tools from Eric. And we got a couple questions related to other general improvements, which we're going to do a full open session with everybody's questions, guys. So I'm logging these and we're going to run right through them in order. So,
awesome.
And Leah is, yes, loving this edition. So wonderful, wonderful.
Great. Well, yeah, I just want to add to that, and thanks for the questions there, or the comments there. Through our product market fit survey, we learned that we need to start moving up the funnel a little bit for y'all to help you, give you more tools on re-engaging people that are on the fence or within the funnel and not fully converted into a member. So these email outreach tools are just one step. We think it's a little goes a long way here, and we look forward to adding more and more tooling here to support you there.
Guys, and as the person kind of spearheading growth here, our entire North Star is indexing around how well you guys are growing, not just how many new communities spin up and kind of sit there not knowing what to do. That doesn't really make sense to us. So we're really trying to shape a lot of just the product roadmap, the marketing education content that I make. All this stuff is around helping you guys elevate your community's revenue performance and just the success of all the goals you're setting for yourselves. So basically just +1 on what Nick said. So yeah.
Take it away, Mike.
Speaking of growth, I feel good. I got a segue in there, and Marchesa wasn't here. I was missing it. So good. I got a nice segue. Speaking of growth, so initiatives and things that we're working on to grow Heartbeat, right? So I separated this out into 3 sections. Lead generation, which for us, a lead on Heartbeat is somebody who starts a free trial of Heartbeat. So the things we're doing here is we're focusing on continuing to scale up our ads. We use paid search and paid social to get in front of new prospective community admins. And it's working really well for us. Just to give a general sense of context, we are converting new leads to new strangers into leads and new leads into purchases at a lower cost per conversion now than we were last year. Really nice to see year-over-year improvements like that, significantly improved. So when you can get more conversions for the same budget, you can continue scaling up your efforts. We're also adding a layer of sophistication to this with retargeting. And I did mention this a little bit last month, but we're continuing to scale up the ability to re-engage people who have maybe seen us before, but have not chosen to kind of get off the sidelines and get into trying the software to see if it's right for them. So what we're doing is we're putting a personal selfie video, FaceTime style video of Mortisa directly inviting people to join our live walkthroughs. So I pitch those and I mention them in our newsletters every week. And they're in the email for you guys to register to if you ever want to see the best practices and process. But now we're offering this to people who have visited, read our site, explored some things around, but maybe didn't quite feel that they got all their questions answered because they didn't start a trial. Now there's another opportunity to educate them further. This is, again, taking that heart-centric approach to marketing. If they didn't have the answers they need, they're not going to take an action. If we can give them more of the answers and more of the information, they're more likely to take the action of starting a community. I emphasize that so that you guys can take this lesson and apply it to growing your communities too. And of course, event-based lead gen continues to be a nice cornerstone for us as well. These tutorials that we run are as much helpful for current admins growing their community as they are a way for us to reach new audiences. So those public events and all the updates that Nick just showed us are really, really effective. So if you're not using event-based lead gen, it's something you can think about as a really cool channel. Works for us, works for a lot of communities. That's why we built what we built. Under brand building, our sponsorship of the Dear Bree podcast is going to carry on through the end of season 2. I think she's got about 4 episodes left in that season. I do spotlight them in our newsletter, but if you are not following Dear Bree, it is an awesome help column podcast for community builders. So people write in anonymous letters, Super Stressed from Detroit writes in saying XYZ in a cool drama / learning things the hard way moment. And then Bree, who is herself a community strategist and a guest who is an expert in that topic, will work through that. And that is the episode. One of the most impactful, tailored podcasts I've encountered to date. Really excited about that. So if you haven't followed that show, go follow it. Go listen to it. There's 2 seasons. Season 1 is the reason I joined this team. So like I listened to the thing while I was mowing my lawn, and then I joined the team at Heartbeat. Like that's just what happened. Up next we're doing co-marketing with adjacent brands. So some of the tutorials are a big part of this. Sometimes it's also members of our team going out and partnering with other people on their platforms. And we have Mortisa going out and doing a LinkedIn Live with some folks. That is a great way when it makes sense, when the Venn diagrams of our audiences overlap, to get new reach and to establish us as a authority in the space. And we're also working on building out Mortisa's founder brand. So him and his presence on LinkedIn and on the socials and the things that are coming out directly from his face and his mouth and all the personality that he brings are going to be a big part of growing Heartbeat's presence. So we're looking at doing that as well. And then just to let you guys know, it's not just shoving more on the top of the funnel, it's making sure the leaks are small. And so for optimization, we're doing a lot of A/B testing on like main website copy and design. I refresh our ads every 2 weeks. There is a lot of things that we do to constantly iterate and improve on the stuff that is running all the time. And if you're not, that'd be a good thing to always think about. What is the refreshing, or what are the conversion rates, and how can I maybe get a little bit more juice for the squeeze? That's what I've got on growth there, Nick. What do we have? If we go down here. Yes, the community section. More for me, guys. Okay, I am going to be so far behind in the chat. Not a problem. All right. So upcoming events. You're here now. You're here now. We are live with this July town hall. So awesome. Thank you guys all for being here. We've got a bunch of folks in the studio audience, and we still got folks tuned in on YouTube. Appreciate to have you guys here. Coming up, we have from Elijah Drown, who is one of our preferred partners, a tutorial session coming up on July 23rd on creating stories that sell using AI. I think this is a really cool topic. A lot of people are looking at AI as an operations assistant, like how do I get the rote stuff done, but also how do you use it to enhance your own innate creativity? That's going to be a really cool topic here. And we also have a affiliate program tutorial coming from Laura Sprinkle. That's all the way out on August 6th. But definitely, if you guys are thinking about using affiliate programs to grow your business, you're going to want to RSVP for that one. These are all reachable in the Hearts event calendar. So if you're not there, go check it out and RSVP, grab a seat. Let's see, where are we at? Okay, we're up to the question section. Speaking of question sections, I am behind.
All good.
All right, we got awesome. So I'm gonna share some love on the screen real quick. We got from Leah Turner. The way you guys grow using so much feedback from users has literally inspired the way I grow and develop my community. Just some big gratitude. Leah, thank you. We really appreciate having you and the Heartbeat fam and doing what you're doing here. I appreciate all the feedback questions I've gotten here. Let's see. Leah, thanks for sharing the Spotify link on that, by the way. I really, on the Dear Bree podcast, you are awesome for doing that as I multitask through all of this. And I am going to grab this question from Rick and let's see here. And I'm going to pull up, guys, I am going to do my best to get all of these up on screen. Okay, so let's go from the top. So Eric did a shameless plug, which is not shameless. That's what we're here for. Stump for your feature requests. Eric, the ability to customize or tweak digest content. Nick, do you want to give a little bit of thoughts on this one? Because I know you have visibility into this, and this has been talked about, I think, through other calls you've been having lately too.
Yeah, for sure. This kind of aligns well with our idea of like trying to move up the funnel for y'all, adding more email tooling to your tool belts within Heartbeat. So this is aligned with that, and yeah, if the demand is there, we will definitely move this up the priority chain. So if you don't already know about our request board, go to our Heartbeat candy board. I think it's, what is it? The URL. Somebody will paste it in the chat. And you'll be able to peruse all of the feedback requests that we have and make your own requests, upvote others. And we use this to fuel a lot of our growth and where we choose to spend our time. So feel free to check that out. And yeah, check out our homie Eric's and give him an upvote.
Awesome. All right, guys. We do just have some love in the chat here. With Rick wanted to know if all of the market promotion for School Circle is helping Heartbeat grow. Are we leveraging that momentum? I got them. I got their number, man. No, it's fine. No, so like as their ranks rise in search, I'm doing a lot of like paid search marketing to index against people searching for that, so we can have that exact moment that Eric had where he's like, seriously, I can't believe I almost went with Circle. I want to make sure we save people from that terrible, terrible fate, so we can get in there and help you guys. Of course, by the way, guys, if you're out there and you're on Circle and you're thinking about, oh, it's not quite what I want, I really love what Heartbeat's building, we got migration help. We can get you switched over. It's things that we do all the time, and we have preferred partners to help with platform migrations too. So we got you covered there. Really appreciate that question though. All right, so if I can go down here, I'm gonna have to go back to the chat in a sec, guys. I'm just gonna go here. So, all right, so Leah did ask a question earlier on. Do we have anyone in the Heartbeat team, free or paid consultants? Oh, Leah, I answered that one about consultants. We got our preferred partner channel. Check that out at heartbeat.chat/partners.
We actually have one, Mike, that I think Mayhole would be really good to answer, from psychology, from the entire department of psychology. Why
the username only gives the first name in the chat, guys. Sorry, I know you guys put a lot more on there a lot of the times.
Why don't we use Stripe Express like other platforms and instead use another part of Stripe? And Mayhole, this came up the other day, so I thought you might want to expand on this.
Yeah, happy to talk on that. And I think the short answer is we kind of chose to go with the Stripe standard approach. And just for some context for those who might not know, the main difference is Stripe's standard, which is what we use, kind of allows you to bring your own business to Heartbeat and kind of connect it to our systems. And so you're the one that manages your customers. It's kind of your business that they're doing the like direct relationship with. And then we just help facilitate those payments. Versus with something like Stripe Express, the kind of legally and the way the payments are structured, Heartbeat is a business that they're interacting with as a customer, and then we just kind of send that money along to you. And I think based on the customer set that we have right now, we found that we typically have people that want to maintain more control over the relationship that they have with their customers. And just more broadly, that's kind of core to the philosophy that we have at Heartbeat of we want you to be the ones that are maintaining your relationship with your users, and Heartbeat is just here to facilitate that. And so we don't want to kind of be responsible for kind of taking care of the payments and the refunds and the disputes and all of that, because ultimately we want it to be your business at the end of the day. But we are open to kind of expanding from there. And if we do see more people kind of want to go with a Stripe Express approach, that's something that we might look into. But for now, it's mainly because we have people that are coming with their own existing Stripe account in business for the most part.
There you go. And then kind of related question here about supporting Afterpay options. Any thoughts on that, guys?
I would look into this a little bit more because I think that Stripe does support some of these Afterpay options as one of the payment methods. I'm not fully sure on like the details, if there might be some caveats there, but I do know that they're often listed as one of the Stripe supported payment methods. And so if you want to go into your Stripe dashboard and see if you could kind of toggle those on and have people start using those, that might be a good way to get that started.
So Tariq, that's your visual up on screen right now. Nick just toured us right there. If you hit into configure payments and under manage your accepted methods.
Yep. Cool.
Awesome. So yeah, if you click into one of these, you should see Klarna show up. And I'm not sure about any Afterpay as well.
Yep, we got Giselle in the chat confirming Stripe supports Afterpay. We just got to turn it on. There you go. Cool. And Dasha, thanks for jumping in. I know you didn't make it in the beginning, but we're glad you're here. Always happy to have folks here however long we can. All right, running down. Un was asking, I saw you guys are on Riverside, not Zoom. It looks so much better. Are we happy with the software? Honestly, man, I love that it gives us the ability to bring the branded experience, the 4K, and if you guys want questions, I can even bring you up on stage if you click the want to come up on stage question, if you want to show up on stage. But like with anything, it's not like nothing's ever perfect in the world. I think there's like a little bit of improvements that could be made here and there about it. But the fact that I got 4K recordings to turn this stuff into content for you guys and actually make more than just the moment be valuable, super worth it to me. Claire's question here. Let's see. Are there successful communities that would be happy to share how they've grown their communities and how long it took them? You know, I would love to tell even more stories about this. We do have some success stories on heartbeat.chat. On the website. We also have some testimonial videos that we're looking to be publishing as well. But we have like a lot of short ones in there. I think honestly, ask the community. Go right into the Hearth, go to the Ask the Community channel and ask. There's a huge supportive group of peers that are ready to answer questions like that, Claire. Awesome. Nick, you're clicking the button faster than I am. No worries. All right. Let's see. Here's David. David misses the Zoom screen filling the whole screen. Wish it could be bigger. Yeah, you know what? I wish it could be a full room of all of us on camera with like a few of us up on stage. That would be a great combo. We'll have to see what the future brings on that. But I hear you. That's all I can say right now is I hear you. Florence has a help question. When a member is included in a group DM, members cannot see all the names of the people inside the group chat. On desktop, a few names are listed at the top, but not all. On mobile, you see one name only. There's no way to expand the visibility. Nick, from a product side, thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, we'll look into that. I think a little bit tricky because like some people might not want to show all the members individually if they're selecting like specific groups to be on the DM group DM. But if you're
Oh, if you add
selecting
like
individual
access groups
members,
to a DM, you're saying that case, yeah.
yeah. But if you're speaking to like individual members on a group DM, then that could be a bug. Then and we'll look into that.
Awesome. All right. Okay. Then I think let's see. Going down here, Anita asks, is there any update on getting 3 across instead of 2 across on the course's doc UI? Okay, so that was a question that Anita, I remember it. I remember it from the other town hall. Nick, thoughts on that?
I'm actually going to pass that to Mayhul.
I think we should be able to get that done soon. I saw that we had some designs for that actually, so it's in our backlog.
Anita, I made the designs. It's in our backlog now.
Soon.
Awesome. Okay. Let's go on here. Any update on non-members being able to see selected parts of the community for SEO indexing, public sections, guys? Where were we at with that?
Yeah, we've talked about this in the past, and it definitely is kind of, I think, one of the larger priorities that we want to tackle on in the coming months. And so we've been doing a bunch of bigger updates recently, so we want to kind of take the next month to reset a little bit and work on some of the more general fixes. But I think once we dive into kind of the next major update of the platform, it is going to be focused around public sections and SEO and all of those. The honest answer is that it's kind of a big topic, and so we need to figure out exactly how we want to approach it and what the best way is to kind of give you guys control over what you want to be public and what you want to be private. But I'm sure we'll be able to figure it out, and it's definitely something that we want to do.
Okay, awesome. I'm trying to go as quickly as we can, guys. I know we're close to the top of the hour, so folks will probably drop off, but if you can hang on, I'll try to power through a couple of questions here right at the end. This is what this is about. Let's see, ask any news about the remove from groups in workflow? Is that a action, like an endpoint of the workflow? I believe.
Like an action.
Yeah.
Mayhul, this might be something that we have behind like only available to like internal communities right now. So we could look into releasing that more broadly. Yeah. So it is something that we've built. So I'll just confirm that like the testing is good there, and then if so, then we might be able to.
So Un was saying as in the chat, like as an action. So if blank removed from group Y, like if X removed from group Y. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll look into trying to launch that soon because it is built already.
Awesome. I love when we already have something built that people ask about. So fun. Anita, ask a Heartbeat event suggestion. It'd be nice to get an hour on the workflow and automations inside of Heartbeat to be aware of. So is that you want to have like
a tutorial?
Automations? Oh, like an hour tutorial on the workflow and automations inside of Heartbeat. Yeah, Anita, if that's what you're asking for, I hear you. And Misty and I have talked about bringing her back on as a full tutorial session for that. In the meanwhile, she does have office hours. So if you get in the Hearth, join the automation special interest group, you can then pop on those office hours and get some questions answered, one to just a few of you in the session at a time. Awesome. So Leah, yes, Leah, I will get Marta in touch with you. I will make sure he does that. We're gonna get that set up. So I love the collab. Translations, please, with all the E's. So I presume language localization, language translations is what that one's about. Thoughts on that, guys? I know it's complicated. I know it's more so than it seems like, right? As you guys, I'm not the technical one, so.
Yeah, I think the honest answer is still going to be a bit before we can get it everywhere, but we have talked about kind of trying to identify the maybe more important parts of the platform, like especially the payments pages and the sign-up pages and getting translations on those pages. And so I think that's something that we might be able to see come sooner. But it is one of those things that requires a lot more work than it seems. And so we appreciate the patience.
On like buttons. Yeah, he specifies on buttons, view, enter, send, etc. Okay. Okay. Florence asked, is this a feature request? The website version of the app won't let me cut and paste copy text from somewhere else and place it into a post in the app. It inserts as an image instead of plain text. Is that like intended functionality? Is that, what are we looking at there, guys?
Yeah, if you want to write in about that, Florence, that sounds like it might be some kind of bug, but I'd be curious where the text is coming from.
Yeah, where's it coming from? And you're trying to get into a post, so we see that's where it's going. Yeah, feel free to drop a chat, and I'll watch that as we go to the next question here real quick. Rick says, did we see the school just announced a $9 hobby tier just a couple days ago? Yeah, I saw it. I had feelings about it, and I saw it. That's all I'm going to say for now. Awesome. And then Eric says, it would be cool if you could name a group DM similar to what I can do in Apple Messages.
I think we might already have that.
Yeah, we might support that.
Yeah, right. There's a way to do that. I'm pretty sure. Is there? If there's not a help article on that, maybe we can find one or make.
It might
one
be
up.
desktop only, which could introduce some confusion. But yeah, we do have.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can edit it right there on desktop. Cool group. Now you got the cool group.
Yeah, so right click. Oh, it looks like I had the same thought process another time. So you would right click it, and that's where you also can access like mark is unread, invite more people, or you can edit the group name.
Yeah. And pro tip, don't name them all the same as Nick just did, because that's going to help you. It's going to get you confused. Yeah. All right, let's hit that. I think we only had a couple left on the questions here as we were winding down. Nicole, just last one. Is the voice room button coming back soon? Our community misses them.
Yes, very soon.
We have a very enthusiastically nodding Nick, and then a verbal yes from our CTO. Awesome. All right, guys. So that's coming back. Those are the questions. As always, if you guys have more questions, the Hearth is a great place to bring them. Ask the community, ask your peers. If you have a support question in the tech support channel, that will generate a ticket, which our support team can then get back to you about. Awesome ways to do that. And of course, this session will be in perpetuity out on the YouTubes. So you can go check it out on our channel. You can comment under that, and we can chit-chat there as well if you want. But the Hearth's the best place. All right. Looks like we are fully caught up on everybody here. So Leah, yes, thank you for being here. Patrick, thank you for being here. Nicole, thank you for hanging in. Rick, Florence, aviation, psychology, all of the other adjectives, because the words don't show me all the words in the chat. Florence, Eric, and Giselle, and everyone. Claire, thank you guys, and all the names I didn't mention. Appreciate you all for being here. Thank you for showing up and helping us co-create the future of Heartbeat. It means a lot to us that you are here. So with very full hearts, we really appreciate all of you guys for showing up, for making this, making us better, because we build only what makes the future better for all community builders. So we appreciate you guys very, very much. Appreciate the love in the chat. Big heart for you. Yes, big heart back from us to you guys. We appreciate that very much. So we're going to wrap up the live. Oh, love the graphic, Nick. Yeah, way to go. Dig it. All right. Appreciate you all. The replay is on YouTube. If you missed part of it or the beginning part of it, go check it out there. It'll be posted live as soon as we wrap up the on air. That's it, guys. We're all caught up in the chat. Any parting thoughts from the team? Are we all good?
Thanks for joining.
We are good. All right. Appreciate everybody for being here. We'll see you guys next time. Catch you later.
Bye.